here we are again. Life is good. I feel God is putting so many words into my mouth, into my heart at the moment, and I'll just make these videos, and if one of you can use this, it's wonderful, and if nobody, it's okay, whatever. I'll just see. I just feel there's many things to share. So, and life is just this mystical, amazing experience where we're actually discovering what it really is all about after so many years of actually not really knowing or being very lost. So, and as I've said so many times before, it's the most simple messages and simple truths, and they are so powerful. So, yeah, there's different things. When you look out at this weather, let's just have a look at it, what it looks like. It's wet and it's cold, and it's just really muddy, quite a cool wind. At least it's not pouring down right now, but it's not very inviting. The air is actually very lovely. But the winter time in this climate here is a little bit of a challenge, and it is many places. Because there's no flowers growing, there's not much life to enjoy, and you get cold, you have to wear lots of clothes, and you just really want to go indoors a lot of the time. And the mind says, oh, this is boring, or, you know, what am I going to do? There's not much to do, and there's not much to enjoy. But I feel that, well, of course, it's been like this always. For people who've been living in these climates, it's been like this always. And for people who live in hot climates, they have periods of where maybe it's very, very dry and everything seems dead in a different way. And it gets very, very hot, so they have to go indoors. And I mean, it's really beautiful, actually, when we go deeper. I think it's very beautiful how the seasons change. And winter time is very much a time of, I don't know about this light here. Winter time is very much a time of going within. It's inviting us into the heart much more. And what can we do, or what happens? Well, if we really listen, just allow ourselves to go into here, well, there's all the experiences of this very moment, and to just sense, how do I actually feel? And when you go through the seasons of this amazing explosion of life and all the food coming out of the earth. Also, if you're living in a place where you actually harvest the food from the land, there's a deep sense of gratitude there that, wow, that was amazing. All this food that came out of the earth, and now the earth is resting, and I can enjoy, if I put some of the food away, we have our apples and we have some meat and different things. You can enjoy the fruits of this year. And also, as the year is coming to an end, to look back and feel gratitude for what was there. Although there's maybe been some very, very difficult things, to just feel this gratitude. So I might just turn this light off. I have a feeling it's a bit glary. Just see. So that was one of the things that wintertime, it calls into the heart, and it's actually there's greater opportunity for inner growth, I feel. And to just also, it's very humbling to just quiet ourselves, because there's not so much activity, and you're not so domineering as you are in the summertime, where you want to get things done. And think of people who have not had the light, electricity, which is just a recent thing. They were in the dark many hours, and up north it's just more or less all day it's dark, and they were in their little huts or caves or whatever they were living in. I mean, for many thousands of years people have been used to a great lot of rest and just being in a very just getting really warm together and surviving through the winter. So that was very much a big thing for us to have to, am I actually going to survive this winter? Because the winter is a big cleansing process where all the weak die off. So winter has its own beauty, and definitely it's a time of inwardness, I feel. So yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to share this morning. Another thing is the whole thing of life and understanding life and what Christ brought to teach us, which can be very hard to really grasp. I'm still trying to grasp it in little bits because it's so powerful. The whole thing of give and you shall be given. And it says in the Bible, which I think is in the Old Testament, it says, those who have shall be given. No, it's in the New. Those who don't have shall have whatever they have taken away. And what is it to give? And what is what is life really all about? And for me, just to see, look at my own life. From I was very little, I felt, I've said this many times before, I just felt that there was something really fundamental lacking on earth amongst humans. I really missed warmth and authenticity, truth, and connection. That's the big one. To feel when I met someone that I feel connected to this person and this person has time for me. Not to put me up onto a pedestal or, oh my goodness, you're so fantastic, but to just listen and be there, be present. So it's really, and for probably for most of you who are listening, you've had the same feeling. Where's the warmth? Where's the love? Where's the authenticity? Which people do I actually really connect with? Is this all just one big game or one big phony play that's going on? And where am I in all this? And so it's actually for many of us been very traumatic, but the beautiful thing is this is all coming now. So what I sensed very quickly is, and that's really what Christ came to say, I have to sneeze. The whole thing of give and you shall be given, or to be a giver. So when you're in the situation where you feel this is lacking, there's a warmth lacking, there's an authenticity lacking in this community I'm in, or family, and then what we are here to do is to give that which you wish from the other, give that yourself. Because the mind says, I want this, I want nobody's warm and loving, and I'm just going to wait till the warmth and love comes. But it doesn't. You have to start giving it yourself. And the tricky thing for me was, that I just, because I could sense that so many people were in a lot of pain, so I became I gave a lot of caring and love, more as a rescuer. And that was, I spent many, many, many years doing this, and I can see that this is not this is not our major thing. That's not really what's meant by giving. It's very strange and very difficult to understand, because you think if you just help these people and give them lots and lots and lots of love, and I love making things with my hands, so I make all sorts of things for people, and just hoping that this warm connection would come, and it didn't. That was not really hitting the mark. So what was hitting the mark? I can see that from my life now. What was it I was meant to give? And I can see now that the greatest thing we can give is our own authenticity, to be truly who we are. And the mind says, well, that's not really giving. I mean, you're just being yourself and having a good time. Well, actually, that is really what we're here to do. That is our greatest gift, to be authentically, completely present as we are. And to actually deeply enjoy being me. And of course, Christ's message was bigger, because he said, love God with all your heart and all your being, every cell of your being. And love others as you love yourself. I mean, he just said, flood everything with love. And he also says yourself. Flood yourself with love. And this is just, it is just so fascinating to look back onto life and say, okay, what was I being taught all these years? Where did I really hit the mark? Where did I really do what I've really come to do? And it is very, very hard for the mind to grasp, because you just have this so deeply ingrained in you that when you're just being yourself, and just doing what you really love to do, and just blossoming as the unique person you are and shining your light, you're being selfish and stupid and not good. And it's simply not true. The greatest gift we bring to earth and to life is the truth of who we are. And to not just give it a little bit, just do a little bit of what we like, but the whole thing, the whole package. To unfold into every little corner of life, to express fully who you are. And to express fully who you are is not necessarily talking a whole lot. It can be being very quiet, but being fully present there, because you can feel that quietness is what I love in this moment. And listening to somebody telling their story or talking about a bird, that's what I feel gives me deep inner joy in this moment. So that's what I'm doing. Then you're completely in yourself. You're expressing yourself in all your wholeness. So it's not the whole thing of shine your light. It's not necessarily going out and painting a whole lot of paintings, being completely artistic and completely incredible. And no, it can be the most, it can be any expression there is on this planet. The important thing is that you feel deeply joyful doing it. And there again, we sense this, oh, but if I'm deeply joyful, the mind says, what about all the others who aren't joyful? That's not nice. to sit and have a really wonderful time while they're all suffering. That's naughty, that you can't do that. It's not true. So it's really allowing ourselves to having the courage to say, okay, there's people in all experiences of life in this very moment, people in deep suffering. And I'm not a better person if I go and suffer with them and hold my joy down. Jeg er lige optaget. Okay. Okay. And that's a very, very big one too. So the more I look into this or just sense what's going on, the more I see how we have been bound. We have been tied down by all these beliefs that are completely untrue. So we've learned that when people are suffering, we have to suffer with them. But that's simply not true. To feel empathy and to love them there, send your love, and whatever you feel, to be aware, just give your awareness onto these people who are suffering, but to not melt into them. And that it takes an enormous amount of courage to step away from this whole way of thinking that I better just hold my joy down, so I sort of go with the what's there. But this is really not what we're being asked to do. We're being asked to be in the fullness of who we are, knowing very well that there's all sorts of levels of existence, and what can help us is to honor people's pain. People are in immense pain and suffering, and you've done what you can do. There's nothing you can do other than be there in this world. You can honor that, and that way you can let it go and give. It's really shining your peace onto it, that it's okay that they are there, and that you send them your love. It's like a big when we step into our complete authentic presence of who we are, we're given this big, Goddess is showing me this big coat, this big, it's not a big cape of love, big shining golden what do you call it, it has this just completely sparkling, pure, completely love-filled cape that we can just lay over all this pain and suffering. Just lay it over it, not to hide it, just to comfort it, and so we're given this endless power to lay our love over everything that's painful on this earth in this moment. We can just see the whole earth, and we're here, and our cape is we just lay the cape right over the earth, and every single being on this planet, animal, plant, human, every sentient being is embraced by this cape of love. And right here we are, in the center of our life, and we can shine our light and without any holding back. Just shine it out and allow ourselves to be deeply, deeply joyful in this moment. And that is really what is going to remove the pain. So the whole thing of allowing me to be this deeply joyful person who is not fearful and not in pain, I allow myself. I mean, imagine that. We're so used to being in pain that we actually feel it's a little bit naughty and not so considerate to not be in pain. Isn't that just mind-boggling? You actually being naughty when you're joyful. And that is the lie that we have been a part of. It's just, it is, I'm talking about it because I can feel it in myself, that the mind is still saying, oh, you can't be completely joyful because think of all the people who are starving here, think of all the people you know who are having a really, really, really hard time right now, and who might also be sending a lot of anger towards you. You can't just sit there and be, with every cell of your body, every single speck of who you are, be completely filled with joy. You can't. But you can, and you shall, and you will. So it's really coming, it's coming to this place where we stop controlling ourselves with the mind. And we allow this inner child in us that is completely filled with joy in this moment to be there. So it's the whole thing of the problems that are not out there. The reason why we've been suffering is because we're not allowed ourselves the joy. So I just found this morning, or it's in my prayer book, which is very beautiful, and it's in this part of the Bible that's called Ecclesiasticus. I can't say it. Ecclesiasticus. And it says, happy are those whose heart do not condemn them and who have not given up hope. And it's interesting, this is written for over 2,000 years ago. Happy are those whose hearts do not condemn them. Stop condemning yourself. Stop holding yourself down and be happy. You're here to be happy, to be in the midst of joy, of God's joy. That is pure. It's pure joy. There's not the tiniest speck of pain in it. It's just pure joy. So, yeah. So just coming back to what I feel I'm learning as I go, and tomorrow I'll see something new, hopefully. So we're just learning more and more as we go. But the whole thing of giving is not going out and rescuing someone and doing a whole lot of things because you feel so sorry for them. It is actually coming back to ourselves, as I've said so many times, and allowing ourselves to be in the fullness of who we are in this moment. And there we just shine, and there we are endlessly powerful. And if someone needs us to listen, we are feel completely well and strong, and we don't go into a deep hole because we hear somebody's very, very painful story, because we can just shine our light and love onto it. So we stay up, we stay afloat. It's really coming up and being on the surface of the water, where we've been holding ourselves down and just had a little sort of allowed to breathe a little bit sometimes. We allow ourselves to come right up and to actually fly right up out of to really live in all our fullness. So what I've learned is not going out and helping all these people, but it's actually just allowing myself to be me and shining my light. And this way I bring the light of God, and it's not to make myself any better, it's just to tell you that learning this, I'm still in the learning process, to set myself free. It's just so powerful. So anyway, I'll end this little film now, and send you all my blessings and all my love, and just put my cape over you of love and light and well-being, and may you feel how you allow yourself to truly, truly be you in all your magnificence and all your well-being, and in all your deep peace. So, see you, my friend.